It was a seemingly ordinary Tuesday morning in the quiet town of Brooksville. Birds chirped, and the sun cast a warm glow over the sleepy streets. At the local 7-Eleven, Sarah, the store's longtime cashier, was restocking shelves and chatting with Mr. Thompson, a regular customer who always came in for his morning coffee and newspaper. As the clock struck 9 a.m., the door chimed, signaling another customer. However, this time, it wasn't a familiar face. A man wearing a black ski mask and holding a gun burst into the store. His eyes, filled with desperation and fear, darted around the room. "Everyone down! Now!" he shouted, his voice shaking. Sarah's heart raced as she quickly raised her hands. Mr. Thompson, too, froze in place, his eyes wide with shock. The robber pointed the gun directly at Sarah and demanded, "Give me all the money in the register." Trembling, Sarah opened the cash register and started stuffing bills into a plastic bag the robber had thrown at her. Her hands shook so violently that a few bills fluttered to the floor. The robber grew more agitated, yelling at her to hurry up. Unnoticed by the robber, another customer, Emily, had entered the store just moments before the robbery began. She had been browsing the snacks aisle when the chaos erupted. Hidden behind a display of chips, she carefully pulled out her phone and dialed 911, whispering the details to the dispatcher. "There's a robbery happening at the 7-Eleven on Main Street. Please hurry." The dispatcher assured her that help was on the way and instructed her to stay hidden and keep her phone line open. Emily's heart pounded as she peered through the gaps in the display, watching the tense scene unfold. Back at the counter, Sarah handed over the bag filled with cash. The robber snatched it and glanced around nervously, considering his next move. Just then, the distant sound of sirens began to pierce the morning air. The robber's eyes widened in panic. "Who called the cops?" he screamed, looking wildly around the store. Realizing his time was running out, the robber dashed towards the back exit. He shoved past shelves, knocking over displays, in his frantic attempt to escape. Outside, police cars screeched to a halt, officers jumping out with their weapons drawn. Officer Martinez, leading the response team, quickly assessed the situation. He directed some officers to cover the front entrance, while others moved to block the back. The robber, seeing the police presence, hesitated for a moment, then made a desperate break for the back door. As he burst through the exit, he found himself face to face with Officer Johnson, who had taken position just in time. "Drop the weapon," Johnson commanded. The robber, realizing he was surrounded, dropped the bag of money and the gun, raising his hands in surrender. Within minutes, the police had the situation under control. The robber was handcuffed and led to a squad car, still muttering under his breath. Officer Martinez entered the store, reassuring the shaken customers and staff. "Is everyone okay?" he asked, his tone calm and steady. Sarah nodded, though she was still visibly shaken. "Mister," Thompson patted her shoulder comfortingly. Emily emerged from her hiding spot, phone still in hand. "I called 911, she said, her voice trembling with relief. Officer Martinez smiled at her. "You did the right thing. Thanks to your quick thinking, we were able to respond in time." As the police wrapped up their investigation and collected statements, the town began to settle back into its usual rhythm. The 7-Eleven, though now a bit worse for wear, was safe again. Sarah, still shaken, took a deep breath, grateful that no one was harmed. The entire ordeal had lasted barely 2 minutes, but for those involved, it felt like an eternity. In the end, it was the quick actions of an alert bystander and the rapid response of the local police that brought the situation to a peaceful resolution, reminding everyone of the importance of staying calm under pressure and the power of community vigilance.